What's going on, my peoples? Welcome to the Willis Podcast. Hey, man, I feel like I got something in my eye. But check it out. A classification of people show is going down tonight. So check it out. Tune in. Here's the intro. Welcome back to the Willis Podcast. How you guys doing, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back up here in the office too. It's gonna have some difficult weather these next few days, so we got to tighten up and we got to hunker down. Hope you got your supplies. I hope you looked out for yourself. I hope you've done well. If you can. If you don't, make sure you got a good enough offer somebody to check you out. Goddamn it, make sure you're all right. But anyway, check it out. It's another this podcast. It's called the Classification of People Show. We do a lot of that, and a lot of time, literally comment by what happened when it came to reclassification. And in the Americas, right? They used to give you the eye test where you look like something. That's crazy. Well, we're gonna get into a lot of things tonight. We're just gonna jump right into it simply because shit, man, when you talk about the classification of people, what gives another people a right to even classify a person first and foremost? Like what think about that? Think about that equation. Literally, what gives a person the right to classify someone? That even if they're foreign, I'm talking about specifically right here in the Americas, just so we know. So a person is from another place. You cannot have two homelands. You can't be indigenous to two places either. Let's just be clear. Now, I know there are a class of about 20,000 Africans that came in like 1619 and beyond. But that's not a whole lot of people, not when it comes to uh, a hundreds of thousands of native Aboriginal dark skinned people here in America, in the Americas. Dark skinned people right here in the Americas. Yeah, right here. And I know that's not I think we need to stop believing so much of the history of foreigners. Let's be clear. The people that came in 1619 in numbers were Europeans. Europeans. Those are not Americans. I mean, due to the fact that you went through ethnogenesis, you have become American. You are so disassociated with Europe at this point. I mean, from a political standpoint, yeah, America and Europe has that was the past now. So you see, those alliances are very fragile. They're very fragile. Well, so when you got those type of fragile alliances, you know, yeah, it's even Europeans that don't associate with white Americans at all. They there's some disdainment that goes back and forth between those regions, but nevertheless, the product of America and the land of America did not produce whites. They was initially immigrants here. The first immigrants here started with the Spanish. Started with the Siberians, the Spanish, the French, the British, the Portuguese. I mean, the list goes on. If you talk about all the nations, that's kind of what happened here in America. It took like 7 nations to defeat the copper color races here. So those are the real facts, whether you like them or not. We can get into some books, but I really want to stick to the classification of people. So let's go ahead and get to the first whip moment. Some people are just cool, good people. Some people, you can't call people ignorant It's just sometimes people don't have an interest. So you have to wake up an interest in people in order for them to want to uh, understand how something associates with them. I hope that makes sense. People understand how just because you say you're a good person and you say you're a cool person, but as soon as you feel like someone can say something derogatory towards you, no, you can do it to other people, but no one can do it to you. See, we have an issue in the world now with communication. And I'm starting to study that people really take communication for granted in a sum of ways, a great deal of sum of ways, because they act as if they try to read your thoughts or read, how you're going to respond, as if they can telepathically read your mind and tell you what you're going to say next, and they're completely off base. That's a problem in communication. The problem with that is you're anticipating. So when you anticipate, you lose the communication. The ties are severed at that point because we're no longer reading the same script. So the problem with some people is the fact that they're not a cool person. When you intentionally miscommunicate the script, when you intentionally deviate from an actual conversation that is being had, but you act like a child and you result to insults, but you're an adult. But wouldn't that be the same thing you would teach your child not to do? So why would you do that as an adult? See, that's why we have a problem with communication, even as adult people. Because the first thing people want to do is result to insults like a child. If you don't understand, don't position yourself as if you understand. You just feel insulted. Well, maybe you don't fully understand because you lack the knowledge, you lack the understanding, you lack the ability to comprehend. And that's your fault. If you lack the ability to comprehend, maybe you should take a kinder, gentler approach, and maybe you will get more of a something of a sum of something that can help you, that can actually help you and resolve your little disablement. Because that's what it is for the most part. You're a little touched, and you don't want to admit the fact that you're a little touched, so you lash out like a child with a fucking attitude. And that's being real bitchy, either male or female. But for even a male to have that type of position, knowing you should be able to go to a brother, your father, someone that you trust, a friend, and can really actually explain where your hang up is, and you can work something out. But it takes G2, it takes education, and women can do the same thing. But it takes G2, it takes you being able to not even submit, but just to understand and understand new thoughts, and you can add that to your character. You can make yourself a better being just by not trying to always position yourself as if you the one, and you not. That's a problem that prohibits people from building. That definitely prohibits brothers from building in conversation. I thought that I would even bring this point up one more time since it's still a hot topic. The Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels situation. That was a prime time to practice some building of differences of opinion, but somebody you know wanted to result to the sum of disrespect on another man's platform. That's and the way he did it was so bitchy. I mean, it was. I'm gonna get off that, but at the end of the day, it was real. It's a real bitchy move. It was a real bitchy ass move because that's not manly, and you're gonna try to act like you can stand 10 toes down on something like that, man. That's loser behavior. I say it again, loser behavior. So some people have pivoted out of that situation and took a better approach, would have resulted in a building. You want to build. You want to show people that you're an adult. That shit wasn't adult like. That was some childlike, insecure, immature behavior. That's what I call that shit. And if you don't agree with me, I don't give a shit because maybe you have those characteristics. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's how you behave. Maybe that's because you're bitchy. Yeah, you think it's cute. That's not even manly. Or you know what I'm saying? But I will say the lady did take the a ladylike approach. She didn't defend Anton. She said she had nothing bad to say about nobody on the 5150, nobody on Corey, nothing bad about Corey Holcomb, anything. I said salute to that lady. She had some class because she didn't take no she didn't feed into you know the soot and filth of what people saw with their own eyes and not gonna let a grown man act like he can lie to what people have already came up with the result of bitch made behavior. That's all it is. So let me get to the next what moment because some people are just cool people, but some people are very foolish people. Let's get to the next what moment. Some people are just liars. Yeah, that you that's what I gather. Some people are just liars. They get comfortable with lying. They position their whole world around lies. They even lie to themselves so repetitively that they start believing they damn lies. And that's an awful sad thing because simply when you lie, you understand you got to tell another lie to cover up that one. Where's the root? You don't have one because all your shit is rooted in lies. See, you gotta understand how to stand on you by understanding how to be truthful to you. That should be the one thing that you should do every day, all day. You can, no matter what you tell other people. In some instances, I'm not telling you that people should be even a part of what goes on in your daily business or your daily life. But at the end of the day, you can't be a just formidable liar, and people can catch you when you're. This is the internet. You can get caught with anything. Any lie you tell, you will be caught up in. Straight up. Period. So you should watch your character, watch your behavior, and watch how you get out here and start making a fool out of yourself on these platforms. That's crazy. Lies catch up with you. You cannot outrun them, and you damn sure cannot outrun this goddamn internet. That's impossible. That's impossible. So let's just hey, stick to understanding how to value yourself, and then you'll see what the value of truth is. Truth is a very precious commodity. It doesn't owe you shit. You have to be truthful to sit in the bosom of the truth. You understand that? Please understand that if you don't. So let's get to the next what moment because liars are just lame, but that's the next what moment. So some people are just that lame. And some lames are okay. When you get older, you don't have to be full of fire no more. When you're subtle, when you're not into what everybody else is into as far as the dominant or the dominant cultural society or even what's going on or what's popping in, you know, the hip hop society, you know what I'm saying? Or the black culture. Everybody want to dip and dive into the black culture, of course. But when you try to position yourself into your own mindset, your own way of thinking. Yeah, see, that's when it becomes interesting. Because then you don't have to rely on the let's call it propagated bullshit of other people. Then you don't have any circles to belong to. You got to deal with self. And that should be okay. Dealing with self is a very interpersonal thing. And you should get a lot out of it simply because when you deal with self, you should be learning about yourself, not beating yourself down, not figuring out how to destroy yourself. You should figure out ways of how to develop yourself, strengthen yourself, whether physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Learn how to turn those tools into something productive because you do have them. They're there. It's just sometimes people get in ruts, they get lazy, they get complacent, and they don't want to use your tools. Because when you start using your tools, you get better at using your tools. So they get you more out of life. They yield a return. See, when you utilize tools, they yield a return. And what are the tools? Whatever the hell you make them, whatever makes you money. I can't judge you. I don't know. Some people may be a tool. I'm not judging. But let's get to the next what woman, because be careful who you call lame, because the same lame cat or the same person that you call, nothing right now, you never know who they're gonna be tomorrow. But see, you can also base that judgment on the way that person positions themselves. Do you does your vision match up with their vision? Are y'all cool? Because if you don't have that from the jump, don't fuck with that person. Leave them the fuck alone. They ain't worth your time. Because I promise you, you're not gonna amalgamate to their ways. Because if you don't agree with them from the top, just hey, peace. Let's just move around. Just move around that individual. They'll be all right, and so will you. Let's get to the next what moment. Some people are just not loyal. Straight up. The majority of the world right now, people know how to justify and rationale being what? I don't know what it is. An opportunistic person. A opportunist. Yeah, that's what most people want to be. They don't want to get it on their own dime. They want you to help them up. But hey, you may have to come up with a sacrifice. And I don't mind helping nobody up, but you got to understand, what value do you bring? If you understand the infrastructure of any organization, any situation, or even your job, or even if you had a business and how you want to run it and how you want to construct it, you're never going to let nobody tell you how to do that. If you do, you're a fool, because that means you have no vision for yourself. So if you have no vision for yourself, somebody can think for you. And see, that's always the positioning and how you have to understand who you have around you and the information that you can gain about just how people act. You can study their characteristics and they'll let you know if you want them around you or not. They'll let you know. Because all they got to do is keep being themselves. And you can decide every single day if you want to deal with that person or not. That's how some people think. And they have no loyalty. So I'm saying you have to be careful dealing with some people. Their rules are different. They don't want to build a relationship with the person, because building a relationship has to do with what? Give and take. There has to be an exchange. So in most situations, people want to give as little as possible to gain the maximum out of you. That's the game. It's not a very forgiving game, because if all is at a loss, who's going to lose it all? And who can gain it all? You have to make those choices, especially with your relationships, all your relationships, friends, family, spouses, girlfriend type of situations. You have these things. The world is full of these unjust people that want to be treated with the utmost just. But see, nowadays here in America is what you can pay for. It's been like that for a while now. But that card is only for certain people as well. You see, Puffy had a lot of paper. He's still doing time. Trump is the president. Need I say more? Oh man, I mean, you can't keep beating a dead horse, but you really have to help people understand the world that we actually do live in. There's two Americas. There's one America, and there's the United States of America. See, there's the USA and there's America. The USA, the United States, is the overlay society that runs everything and everybody in it. And we don't have a complete, it's becoming more autocratic every day. That's kind of scary, but hey, some people pick their beds and they lay in them. And they understand that, sometimes you made a very bad choice, an awful choice, a forbidden choice, but you did it anyway because you didn't like other people. But see, the problem is if say you wanted, let me tell you, everybody's feeling the effects of everything right now. So maybe the only reason why you see that black people are just as comfortable as we are because this has always been our circumstance. This is nothing new. It doesn't feel any different. It feels the same as it always have felt because it's unfortunate, but these are times that are just too um, close in memory to have forgotten how America has been what America has never changed its faces. It's just now it's on Gestapoism. They practicing, straight up Gestapo. This is Gestapo shit that's going on right now. So let's get to the next what moment. Some people enjoy being in a state of melancholy or sad. I would stay away from those people as well. The problem is they'll never be happy and you can't make them happy. You can never appease them. They have to do that themselves. And if you stay in that type, a lot of energy out of you, the energy vampires. So what they do is, I know you heard of misery loves company and, those things are true. So you have to watch who you give information to because those people will turn around on you. You have to, because some people only want to communicate news against you. They would use the same, and then they would distort it, turn it around, add and dice and delete words of their choosing and say, yeah, it was something like that. You're like, wait a minute, that's still that is not even equivocal to what I was addressing or what had happened or anything. It's just a lie. Please be careful with those kind of people. They are rotten. They're insufficient too, because they have to see things their way or let off their awful or negative energy in exchange. That's their segue. As long as they can placate what they think you said or what they thought you said and keep running, they feel like it's all fair game. That's a nasty person. Those are nasty attributes too, and nasty characteristics. Stay away from them kind of people. Dang good. Let's get to the next what moment. Some people are just evil. That's their segue into that. Some people practice those type of practices. I call it witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? It's jungle jazz. It's all of the things that they're unfamiliar with or don't want to address in order for them to flip it so you can address and play in their territory. They want you to play with their narrative or assume their narrative in order for you to play their game. It's a trick. You just got to see through the bullshit. Let's get to the next what moment. Some people you just can't help because as soon as you try to help them, you figure out your shit messed up, your shit raggedy. You damn near done flipped an exchange with a person. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to deal with that either because some people you just can't help. And it doesn't matter if you try to help them anyway because they're going to let you know how much it didn't fucking matter either. They'll tell you how much, oh, you helped. Oh, that wasn't nothing. They'll throw it back in your face and act like you ain't do shit for them. You can't call it whether they're going to get that back or not. You just know that that's some sad shit as a person you just can't deal with. A person that you will assist, change their life, or help get them out of a rut, a bad situation, an atrocious situation, some shit that could have threatened their life even. But you know what? You ain't did shit for me. Like, what kind of shit is that? What kind of person is that? But they do exist. So some people you just can't help. So you have to use your proper judgment. Go with your gut. Go with your intuition. You know what I'm saying? Go with, before you assist people, don't lie to yourself. Understand that you just may take a loss. So be careful and guard that. Guard yourself. Everybody you just can't help. I'm not telling you not to help anybody, because I do. I help a lot of people. But I won't tell you that sometimes you won't get burned. But don't let that defeat you. Don't let that deceive you. Don't let that take away from your good heart. Please. That's not what I'm saying. Just understand how to be a good judge of character. That's all I'm trying to give you. That's all the game I'm trying to give you. Just be a good judge of character, because everybody don't value you the way you value yourself and the way you should value yourself. So just make sure you keep your value high so that people don't dirty you up, because they like to do that shit too. Let's get to the next whoop moment. The last category is for the good of humanity. Good people. You know what I'm saying? I salute people that know how to, exchange well with all kinds of people. Understand other people's story, their plights, but keep it real. Don't be so don't exaggerate shit so much. A lot of people love to exaggerate their situations. They love to exaggerate and act as if, their situation was so fucking terrible, or so much more worse than someone else. And I mean, I will tell you this: if you have breath in your body, and somebody have thought enough of you, and you have thought enough of yourself, and you have good relationships, I think you should think highly about yourself. I don't think you should ever victimize yourself. I think you should always, for people like that look like this, we know what was done to us. We know that too. But that doesn't, see, the thing is, when a debt is due, that has nothing at all to do with how well I'm doing today. It ain't got shit to do with that. It's got to do with what I missed out on. It's got to do with how the things that were on people that look like me, unjust. Extremely unjust. The only way you can make that right is you have to pay for the things that you didn't do. And you have to stop telling yourself that you did shit that you did not do, because I promise you this: immigrants did not build America. Black Americans built America. I know you don't like to hear that, but it's true. That's the whole damn truth. And don't nobody give a damn what you don't want to hear. It hurts your feelings. That leaves everybody else out. That means nobody else did nothing. No, you didn't. You didn't do shit. All you have to do is listen to people that look like you. Fuck, don't listen to me. Listen to people that look like you. Type in on the internet whatever the hell you want to know, and I guarantee you, you ain't got to hear it from my mouth, because there's a whole lot of people that look like me that say it, but it's a whole lot of people that look like a lot of other people too, that will tell you the same damn thing, because some people don't indulge in lies. Some people don't care to lie. Some people like the truth. Some people like the feeling of being free from bondage. Didn't I tell you, when you put your foot on my neck, you can't move either? See, that's why no human being and no race of people should ever participate, which is what is still going on today, oppressive tactics. Why don't you just leave that shit out of it and let the cream rise to the top? But see, that's the whole get down. You love oppressive tactics. Leave that shit out of it. The most truthful, the most valiant, the smartest. Let people be as talented as they want to be with whatever they want to be. Not just a rapper. What if he was a lawyer like Johnny Cochran? A doctor. Maybe they were skilled, had skilled hands like Vivian Thomas, with Blue Babies. You know what I'm saying? Valiant people, brilliant. Or maybe they want to be like Benjamin Banneker. that can create an almanac and then have a clock that was in his honor that's in London today, Big Ben. So don't act like a Black American culture isn't everywhere. Hell, he designed Washington D.C. Built on Egypt on the Potomac. Shit, I'll show you. I won't lie to you. I'll just show you the book. Yeah. You go. Egypt on the Potomac. Let me read a little bit of this for you by Anthony T. Browder, by the way. So, it's a whole lot of stuff, man. Like understanding that this is an American story that was an Egyptian story, but also, what is that? That's the Washington Monument, right? Everyone knows D.C. and the city and the secrets. There are secrets in the Washington, D.C., the Capitol, and the Supreme Court. There are secret files in the Pentagon, the FBI, CIA, NSA, and a veritable alphabet soup of federal agencies. Veritable alphabet soup of federal agencies. Yet the greatest secret in the national capital is not locked in a vault 24 hours guard. Washington, D.C.'s greatest secret is hidden in plain sight. They are the secrets of ancient Egypt and its influence on the development of the United States and the capital city. These secrets are embodied in dozens of monuments and visited daily by thousands of tourists, and they are available all to see. When you think about it, what better place to hide than put them where everyone can see them? Placing secrets in an open sometimes renders it invisible to the public. This strategy is particularly effective while the public lacks information to interpret what they are seeing. You understand what I'm saying? So that says it right there in plain sight. Check that out. Dr. Anthony T. Browder. Dope ass book. Great book. And to let you understand, when you are a person that is curious, that means you never gave up your childlike mind. Yeah, you can be an adult, you can pay bills, you know what I'm saying? But you still have to dream and wonder. You still have to think about things. You still have a passion to divulge into things. And I have that passion to divulge into the past. I love it because that is the reason you can gain vision to see what is the future. In plain sight, you can just see it. So people that have discernment like that, what they do is we connect with each other. And that kind of outpaces color. So I'm into that type of, conversation. And I like that type of depth as well, because that renders, valuable relationships and valuable exchanges that will last a lifetime. That's what's worth it, first and foremost. But let me get to the last whip moment. Yeah, here it is. Does that okay, this is the thing. Ask yourself this question. Is there good and bad in every single race on this planet? That's just a yes. What I would tell you is sharpen yourself internally, lift your discernment levels, raise your vibrations so that you can know and have a better understanding of who you can do business with, who you can trust, who you can't trust, who you can build with. And that may come with all kinds of people. I'm not going to say of different races. I'm just going to tell you that's going to come from all kinds of good people. That's the show tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed being with you guys. So anyway, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me here on the Wheelers Podcast. I love you guys. I want you to share, like, subscribe. Always try to do that for me. Share, like, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Help us grow. Help us reach our goals. You know what I'm saying? Also, go to the wheelerspodcast.com and purchase some merch. That would be great if you go ahead and, check you out some of that nice that nice material, nice designs. You can just scroll through it. You can just hit that more button and you'll find something that you like. Maybe you like them bucket hats or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, check it out, man. It's Will This Podcast. I appreciate you guys and understand me well. This favorite part of the show. The will is yours. Stay true to yourself. Be cool. Be careful who you classify because you may fall in the wrong classification. Also, if you have to do with you when it comes to a good classification of highly intelligent, good people with great hearts and great minds and a great way of being, yeah, that's the category you want to fall in. And that's how you should classify yourself. It's just dope. But anyway, y'all take care and be easy, be cool, and understand again the will is yours. Be easy with people.